What's going on, YouTube? This is GamerDoc1906 coming to you today with another video about tips and tricks for World War II and pretty much for any of the Call of Duty series, Modern Warfare series. And basically, these videos that I put out, especially with tips and tricks, they're basically just helpful tips and tricks that I've learned from other people over the years, and hopefully these things can help you a little bit. I tend to ramble on a lot, but hey, you know, let's just have some fun. Let's talk about having more fun with this game. And so the topic I want to talk about today is we're going to be talking about analog stick sensitivity and how to improve accuracy. Now, I'm not the most accurate person in the world when it comes to playing this game. I tend to just try to put the crosshairs on the enemy. That's basically how I play it. But sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes, especially when we're first starting out, we tend to try to compensate for whatever weapon we have by aiming down the whole game. Now, I'm not an advocate of aiming down the sights the whole game, but I do warn against aiming down the whole time, because that means you have to bring the gun up, which is going to delay your reaction time. So and when I mean bring it up, I mean bring it up to actually shoot the enemy. So, and as you can just see, sometimes I'm not that accurate as well. I could be aiming right next to the person, but see, that one was right dead center. And so basically, when it comes to analog stick sensitivity, and basically the game starts out at medium, and if you go into the controller settings, you'll see that pretty much every Call of Duty starts off at 4 and 4. So meaning your vertical sensitivity, meaning the up and down sensitivity of the gun, and the up and down speed that the actual gun will go up and down is set at 4. And that's considered medium for Call of Duty, pretty much any Call of Duty game. And the actual horizontal sensitivity is set to 4 as well. So vertical sensitivity is basically how fast the gun will go up and down when aiming at a target. And horizontal sensitivity is how fast the gun will go left or right when aiming at the enemy. Now, obviously, if you set it too fast, then you're not gonna, especially when you're first starting, it's just gonna be going all over the place. But in some situations, especially on a map like Shipyard, you need to be able to turn quickly. Meaning, if an enemy starts moving left or right, and they're moving really fast, you need to be able to keep up with them with your gun. Now, for me, 4 is way too slow, and it's depending on the day. Sometimes I'll start off at 4, but most days I'll start off at 6 for my horizontal sensitivity and 6 for my vertical sensitivity. Now, I wouldn't advise going and doing that when you first start. I would probably go 5 and 5 when I first start. I definitely, and some people will disagree with me, I would not start off at 4 and 4, but I've been playing for a while, so I would definitely try to get used to whatever setting you want to use. Now, there's some crazy good players who play at 4 and 4, meaning the horizontal sensitivity is 4 and their vertical sensitivity is set at 4 as well, and they do really well with the game. There are a lot of really good players. Now you can go as really high. I've never went past 7 personally. I think I tried 8 at one point, but it was literally so fast I couldn't keep up with it. But what's really crazy is that, in all honesty, at any setting, you can, as long as you practice, you can pretty much get used to it. And if you can play with a sensitivity of 8 or 9, then play with it. I mean, you'll have that much of an advantage on the against the other teams or other players. So I definitely encourage you to try to use or increase your sensitivity. But when you do that, you want to make sure that you are practicing, guys. You gotta practice it, like anything, video games, school, work, everything. You have to practice. Okay, nobody gets good at this game, and nobody has, I don't know of anybody who has like just hidden talent for this game. You have to play it. Okay, a lot of guys get frustrated. They start blaming everybody for everything once they start losing. But you guys will see. So what I encourage you to do is try to work on your sensitivity. So if you need to go up to, definitely start at 4 if you're just starting, okay? But try to move it up every day, like go up to 5 one day and just play like that for a few days, okay? You may want to play like that for a few days until you get used to it. But definitely, whatever you do, go to 5 and 5, and then or go to 6 and 6. After a few days of playing 5 and 5, that will, and trust me, it will make your gameplay a lot more fun, a lot more challenging, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. But most importantly, guys, just like in everything, you gotta practice. So, now another tip that I'm gonna give you. I'm not a guy who mods their controllers, but there is one mod that I do and would encourage you to buy. It's the analog stick covers for your controllers, and it's made by a company called Control Freaks. There are a lot of different companies who make it, but the best quality ones that I found are Control Freaks. They work really well. They have really short ones, they have really long ones, and the longer you have, the longer the stick, the more accurate you can be. But again, you can't just throw them on your controller and expect to be there's some players like C Murder, some players like Merciless Badass, Allie, all those guys, they are just piece players, but they have all these mods. I think Merciless plays with Control Freaks as well, but he practices, he practices. There's no way around it. So that's the most important thing, guys. You gotta practice. Increase your sensitivity, maybe once or twice a week. If you're gonna play every day, increase it once or twice a week. Try the Control Freaks and see what different links work for you. Now the Control Freaks are kind of expensive. They're like $20 for a set. So it's definitely, if you can't afford it, then don't get them. Just play with the regular controller. People do very well playing with regular controllers. Trust me, my best friend he's a beast at this game and plays with nothing, plays at 4 and 4 and uses no Control Freaks or anything. But either way, that's my tip and trick for the day. Let me know what you guys think in the comment, and enjoy yourself while you're playing Call of Duty. That's what it's all about. And again, practice, and I'm out. bye.